President Biden announces student loan relief for borrowers who need it most. A three-part plan fulfills President Biden's promise to eliminate $10,000 in college debt for low to middle income students. President Biden thinks that a post high school education should be a passport to a middle class life. But for too many people, the cost of borrowing for college is a lifelong wait that prevents them from pursuing that dream. During the campaign, he promised to alleviate student debt. Today, the Biden administration is making good on that pledge, giving families breathing room as they prepare to begin repaying loans following the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. Even after accounting for inflation, the overall cost of a 4 year public or private college has roughly tripled since 1980. Pell Grants, which formerly paid about 80% of the cost of a 4 year public college degree for students from working households, now barely cover one third. As a result, many low and middle income students have no choice but to borrow in order to complete their education. According to a Department of Education analysis, the average undergraduate student with loans now graduates with roughly $25,000 in debt. The soaring cumulative federal student loan debt, 1.6 trillion and counting for more than 45 million borrowers, places a major burden on America's middle class. Middle class borrowers face hefty monthly payments and increasing debt, making it difficult for them to develop wealth through activities like as property ownership, retirement savings, and the establishment of small companies. Debt has a particularly devastating impact on the most vulnerable debtors. Almost one third of borrowers have debt but no degree, according to a Department of Education analysis of a recent cohort of undergraduates. Many of these students were unable to complete their degrees due to the prohibitively high cost of attendance. Approximately 16% of borrowers are in default, including roughly one third of senior individuals with school debt, which can lead to the government garnishing a borrower's earnings or reducing a borrower's credit score. Black borrowers have a disproportionate share of the student debt load. 20 years after starting college in the 1995 to 96 academic year, the average black borrower owing 95% of their original student loan. Today, President Biden announced a three-part strategy to provide America's working families more breathing room as they continue to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 outbreak. This approach provides targeted debt relief as part of a larger effort to alleviate the burden of rising college costs and improve the student loan system for working families. The president has announced that the Department of Education will provide targeted debt relief to address the pandemic's financial consequences, honoring the president's campaign promise. The Department of Education will cancel up to $20,000 of debt for Pell Grant recipients with Department of Education loans and up to $10,000 for non-Pell Grant recipients. Borrowers qualify for this benefit if their individual income is less than $125,000, $250,000 for married couples. This measure will not assist any high-income individual or household in the top 5% of incomes. To promote a seamless transition to payments and avoid unwarranted defaults, the federal student loan repayment moratorium will be extended one final time until December 31, 2022. Borrowers should expect to begin payments in January 2023. Make the student loan system more manageable for both existing and prospective borrowers by reduce monthly payments for undergraduate loans by half. The Department of Education is proposing a new income-driven repayment plan that exempts more low-income borrowers from making any payments and caps monthly payments for undergraduate loans at 5% of a borrower's discretionary income, half of the rate required under most current plans. This implies that present and prospective borrowers will see a more than $1,000 reduction in their average annual student loan payments. Fixing the faulty public service loan forgiveness (PSLF) program by proposing a rule requiring borrowers who have worked for a nonprofit in the military or in federal, state, tribal, or municipal government to earn sufficient credit toward loan forgiveness. These enhancements will build on the Department of Education's temporary adjustments to PSLF, which have already authorized more than $10 billion in loan forgiveness for more than 175,000 public employees. Protect future students and taxpayers by lowering college tuition and keeping colleges accountable when they raise rates. The president advocated for the highest increase in Pell Grants in more than a decade, as well as one of the largest one-time influxes to schools and universities. To significantly lower college costs, the president will continue to campaign for doubling the maximum Pell Grant and making community college free. Meanwhile, colleges must keep costs reasonable and ensure that borrowers receive value for their investments, rather than incurring debt they cannot afford. Provide targeted debt relief to fulfill the president's campaign commitment. To address the financial harms of the pandemic for low and middle income borrowers and avoid defaults when loan repayment resumes next year, the Department of Education will provide up to $20,000 in loan relief to borrowers with Department of Education loans who have an individual income of less than $125,000, $250,000 for married couples, and received a Pell Grant. Almost every Pell Grant recipient comes from a household that earned less than $60,000 per year, and Pell Grant recipients often have more difficulty repaying their loan than other borrowers. Borrowers who satisfy those income requirements but did not get a Pell Grant in college can receive up to $10,000 in loan relief. The Pell Grant program is one of America's most effective financial aid programs, yet its worth has declined over time. Pell Grant recipients account for more than 60% of the borrower population. According to the Department of Education, about 27 million borrowers will be eligible for up to $20,000 in relief, allowing them to realize their economic potential while avoiding the economic harm caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Current students with loans are eligible for debt relief. Borrowers who are dependent students will be eligible for relief based on parental income, not their own. If all borrowers demand the relief they are entitled to, the following action will: provide relief to up to 43 million borrowers, including canceling the entire remaining sum for about 20 million borrowers. Direct relief funds to low and middle income debtors. The Department of Education forecasts that approximately 90% of relief money will go to borrowers who are no longer in school and earn less than $75,000 per year. No individual or household earning more than $125,000 or more than $250,000, the top 5% of incomes in the United States, will receive assistance. Assist borrowers of all ages. According to the Department of Education, 21% of debtors eligible for relief are under the age of 25, while 44% are between the ages of 26 and 39. Moreover, one-third of borrowers are above the age of 40, with elderly citizens accounting for 5%. Advance racial equity. By focusing relief on borrowers in the greatest economic need, the administration's efforts are likely to help close the racial wealth gap. Black students are more likely to borrow money for school and to take out larger loans. Black borrowers are twice as likely to have gotten Pell Grants as their white counterparts. Other borrowers of color are more likely than their counterparts to receive Pell Grants. That is why an Urban Institute study discovered that debt forgiveness programs aimed at students who received Pell Grants while in college will help to achieve racial justice. As we conclude our financial education journey, remember that mastering your finances is a lifelong process. By equipping yourself with knowledge and making informed decisions, you pave the way for financial stability and prosperity. Whether it's budgeting, investing, or planning for retirement, the principles of financial literacy empower you to take control of your economic future. Keep learning, stay disciplined, and embrace the opportunities that come your way. Here's to your financial success. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.